nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.
Thank you so much, Jeandra, LeBeauf, Black Girl Nerds. Thank you, young ladies, for your time. Wonderful performances from both of you. I enjoyed you both so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Saniyya, beginning with you, when you look at Venus and embodying that, what is something that you felt that you absolutely had to nail?
I feel like for me, I wanted to make sure everybody understood who Venus was as a person. You know, because we know Venus as the champion, we know Venus as the tennis player. But this movie kind of gives you an insight of who she was at such a young age. And seeing her just process being a teenager and, you know, handling tennis in a way. But at the same time, I loved getting to kind of just step into her shoes. It was so cool. I mean, I looked up to them. So getting to learn about them as people, it was such an extraordinary process for me, and I was so excited. And I will never forget the day I pulled out that beaded look, because I've always wanted to have that. So when I had it for the first time, I was cackling, man. I was like
all over the place.
You know, you can hear it was so loud, and I was like,
It was like hitting me in the face with her beads. It was like, hey Demi, look at my beads.
Every 5 seconds, it was like a
yeah.
Demi, for you, we know now on this side of history what they mean to the sport as legends, as pioneers. How much of what you know about them now helped you get ready to portray them then?
I think specifically for Serena, I feel like knowing what I know about her now helped me a lot. And you know, while filming King Richard, I realized how similar she is to herself now than how similar she was to herself now than she was when she was little. You know, she's always had that hunger and dedication to be the best at what she does, and so I think that really helped me when you know, trying to portray her and bring her story to life.
You both did such a beautiful job. I'm from LA, from Inglewood. Have watched them from the beats, from the click clacking with the beats, still have those newspaper articles, and I think you both were incredible
Thank
performances.
you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Tony, so much for your time. I just enjoyed you very, very much in this, and this is a story that's very personal to me. I love the Williams sisters and what they've accomplished.
Yes, great, thanks.
When you knowing what you know about the legacy of Venus and Serena, what they've been able to achieve, has any of that informed your approach to how you portray Paul, their coach, and just the way you make Paul interact with young Venus and young Serena and Richard on camera?
Yeah, you know, the answer is yes, and you know, it was also driven by my conversations with the real Paul Cohen. You know, Richard's approach to making these girls the champions that they became, you know, was about protecting them and allowing them to sort of discover their own power and have it be something that came from them, as opposed to, you know, he had this insane goal of them becoming the greatest in the world and just pressuring them to do it. It always had to come from them, and so I suspected that Paul was on board with that. So one of the first questions when I called him and started talking to him, I wanted to know what his approach to coaching young players was and children. You know, was he a taskmaster, was very tough on them? And he said, oh God, no, I was a teddy bear. And he was someone who, like Richard in a way, had was very, he had a whole system worked out, and he was a taskmaster in the sense of, you know, there was one right way to do it, and he put them through their paces, but it was always with a sense of fun and always, you know, trying to create a sense of joy and excitement for the girls, and conferring incredible respect upon his players so that they felt they owned it, as opposed to kind of beating it into them. which is, another way of doing it. But it was so, to me, I wanted Paul's, I was pleased that he told me that, because I wanted Paul as a character to be someone who was coming from his heart with these girls, and ultimately wanted the same thing as Richard, even though in the movie they really clash a lot, because Richard's very willful and keeps inserting himself into Paul's coaching, but they also had tremendous respect for each other. And, at the end of the day, it was all about what is best for Venus and Serena. So yeah, it really, Richard's approach to parenting very much impacted the way that I wanted to approach Paul's coaching, and it turned out that was in fact the truth.
Listening to Paul's approach to working with young people, when you think of yourself as a performer, will you take some of those lessons, like if you have to work with young cast in the future, and some of those things you learned from him, and how you influence your own goings about with?
Yeah, but it's the way
people?
I've always done it. It very much is the way. Maybe that's why I was right for the part. I've worked with a lot of kids, and I've directed. I'm also directors. I've directed kids in movies and television, and I always feel that way. It's always through creating a sense of fun and giving tremendous respect to them, and the most talented child actors or young actors are ones who have an ability to just tune into their own individuality and be themselves, and honor that, and foster that, as opposed to saying, you need to do it this way, and you need to do it right, and you need to do it my way. That never works. That shuts people down. So, it's even the way I tried to parent my own kids. So yeah, it reinforced that, and something I guess it will influence me going forward. I'll think about this story as in the future as well, but it's always the way I've believed, gets the best results and is healthiest.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much for your time. This is a wonderful film, and I can't wait for people to really, really experience it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.